Hello, ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here with kind of just random video. First off, I apologize for not having a video up today. You guys were expecting Panzer Dragoon Saga, and I just didn't get around to editing it like I was supposed to. A couple of reasons. One, I was up exceptionally late last night working on another project for Rainfall that I'm hoping to unveil in the near future. The second reason is because yesterday evening, one of my subscribers and followers on Twitter posted a, "Hey, Nintendo finally unveiled its affiliate program that, been kind of interested in. Check it out." I start looking at it. I'm like, okay, this is different. This is different. That's just going to be the long and short of it. This is different. All right. So, for those of you who haven't seen what this is or don't know the situation, first and foremost, Nintendo has had a very interesting policy toward YouTube of you can put whatever you want on YouTube. However, we're going to slap an ad on it, and we're going to make money off of it, and you can't make anything off of it. Period. That is their stance. Now, some people probably circumvent this by being really popular, making a lot of money on the internet. You've got people like Total Biscuit, Game Grumps, like large YouTube entities that probably have their network's lawyers go to bat and be like, yeah, no, you're going to let this slide. And it happens that way. I would imagine the Game Grumps, focusing on a lot of older content, like old NES, SNES, they probably are able to skirt by because of the amount of money they make and their network fights for it. Whereas people like me, my network really doesn't care that much about me. To put not too fine a point on it, like, the network likes me, I like the network, we get along alright, but, I don't make them enough money for them to care that much. And this is just the honest truth. But that was Nintendo's policy on it. You can put whatever you want up, we don't care, but we're going to make money off of it. That's the long and short of it. And as you can imagine, the YouTube community didn't take too kindly to that because people like making money off of stuff they do. Like, if they make, really good content and they have a ton of people watching it, they'd like to make money off of that. Like, I can understand, again, Total Biscuit, Game Grumps, Chugga Conroy, any of these people make really good content, and they should probably be paid for the amount of content that they make and the quality of content they make. Because I guarantee you, that good quality content is probably increasing sales for, these various entities. So, like, I could imagine, like, Chugga Conroy's Let's Play of Xenoblade Chronicles probably boosted Xenoblade Chronicles up a little more than what it would have been had he not played it. That's, how YouTube works. That's how YouTube advertising works. So, there's a lot of people that were not happy with Nintendo's decision and decided to boycott. And Nintendo kind of heard that this was a thing, and I guess they realized that not a good policy in place, so they agreed that they would work out some sort of affiliate program. And this affiliate program has finally launched. So the details for this program is you register through Nintendo. I don't know how it works for people who are part of a network. I've contacted my network and be like, hey, how would this work for me? Because I give you guys, like, I already shared the money I make with you guys. Like, how would I do this with them? Because the way the registering process works, it would just be me and Nintendo. There's no mention of another network. So, how this works is you register your content with Nintendo. You can either do it on a video-by-video basis, or you can register your entire channel. And this gives you two options. The video-by-video basis means if you do non-video related materials, you don't have to worry about that, and Nintendo won't try to claim that. It's just anything that you actively register through them. So, like on my channel, where I do, as of right now, I've done very little actual hardcore Nintendo stuff, just things that have been on Nintendo systems. But no, like, I've not done Zelda or Mario or any of that, and if I did it by video basis, they wouldn't try to claim my, like, Shining Force videos. However, the downside is, video by video basis, you only get a 60-40 split. So from the sound of it, it sounds like I would get 60%, they get 40%, we go on our merry way. So I get a little bit less than their alternative, which is if you sign up your entire channel, you get a 70-30 split. But instead of going on a video by video basis, they just assume everything you're doing is on their approved list of content, and they just give you 70% of it. Which can, like, it's something you would have to actively maintain, because they do have a whitelist of materials that you can do. Anything not on that list, probably not going to fly real well with them, because reasons. Most of what's on this list are Nintendo-specific first-party titles. So, Mario, Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong. There are things missing from this list, like Pokemon and Xenoblade, because I assume that companies like Game Freak and Monolith, while they are subsidiaries of Nintendo, they are still a separate entity, and there's some licensing agreement that needs to be reached with that. I don't know the specifics on it, but I do know, like, Pokemon specifically is missing, and I can only assume it's because Game Freak is still somewhat of its own entity, even if it is a subsidiary of Nintendo. They could potentially buy out and become another studio, and then you have... that would be a very complicated area, but things that are specific Nintendo content, like Mario, obviously Nintendo. I could go through and play any Mario game, and now I could register it with them. But those are the two options: video by video for 60/40, or a whole Nintendo-specific channel for 70/30. Personally, I don't see this as a bad thing. I don't. Considering the alternative was you get nothing. You either put the time and effort to play these games and you get nothing in it, which is something that I can't do. I can't upload a video where I can't get anything from it, because then that just pisses off my network. Like, I have to do something that is mutually beneficial for network. If I wasn't in a network and I was just using Google AdSense to put ads on the videos myself, that's a completely different story. But for people partnered, it really wasn't worth the time, because you got nothing out of it. Nintendo's like, oh, anything that's Content ID, it's ours. Period. Now, a lot of people are... There are two sides to this, and there are always going to be two sides to this until a definitive conclusion is reached, which is never going to happen, because someone will have to take it to court, and no one wants to take this to court. I can't imagine why. Because, it would be a grueling legal battle. It would cost a lot of money and cost someone face. I've said this before, no one wants to take this to court, because if a Let's Player takes it to court and they lose, they've just screwed over every other Let's Player. And if a company takes it to court and lose, they've screwed over other companies. Like, this is, like, other companies would have to go through and specifically state in their EULA that this is a thing, and if it's not in that specific EULA, then you've lost all of these older titles. It is a clusterfuck of no one wants to fight that. So the two sides are just gearing up with their armchair lawyer arguments of content creators create something that's, unique and transformative, so they should get all 100% to it. And then you've got the other side's like, no, they shouldn't, because, Rift Tracks, MST3K, people like that, they don't get to make money off of the movie. Like Rift Tracks, they can't sell the movie with their commentary on it. That's not enough of a transformative work. So they just sell the commentary separately. You still have to have the movie. Then there's the arguments of games are an interactive medium. You've got games that are dynamic versus movies and music, which are static. And, there are good arguments on both sides. I can see both sides of it. And as a Let's Player, the fact that I can see the other side, that says something. That says that there is a legitimate merit to this argument. Using movies, again, as an example, if I buy a DVD, that doesn't give me the ability to broadcast it. I can't, have movie night and invite like 100 people, or even charge 100 people, which is more akin to what YouTube would be, and have them watch it. That's illegal. That's against copyright. Whereas, again, a movie's not a game. Watching a movie anywhere is going to be the same as watching it, but watching and playing a game are really going to be two different experiences. So, again, I get both sides of it. But I also sit here and think that this is a pretty decent compromise. Like, there are companies out there that are like, yeah, if you want to do this, go ahead and monetize whatever you want. It's free publicity for us. That's great. But the companies that don't say that, you're taking a gamble. And speaking as someone who has taken that gamble and gone against companies. Like, I've had to deal with Sega. I've been there, done that. I don't want to do it again. If Sega came up with yeah, we'll give you a 60-40 split. Sure. Just leave me the hell alone. Don't come after my stuff again. I am completely okay with that. And again, I am partnered with a network. But again, most networks, they're not going to go to bat for you. You're going to end up paying whatever legal fees yourself if you wanted to take it that far. If you wanted to say, no, this video is under fair use, you have to fight it. Your network not going to fight it for you. No one else is going to fight your battles for you. You would have to do it yourself. And that's really that's it. Like, I fought Sega, and eventually they relented and was like, yeah, we're going to back off, but they left in all this nebulous legal speak of, we choose not to do it for now, we may have to revisit in the future, just in case, if it's slander, like all of this jargon, just to try to intimidate you from wanting to try to do it again, just so that they could look like they almost won. Even though they backed off. I mean, they could have won. That's the thing. These companies, they can and say and do whatever they want. It's how it works. The problem is not the company, the problem is YouTube. YouTube being the way it is, wanting to avoid lawsuits, they have to be very heavy-handed. They have to assume you're guilty before anyone even accuses you of anything. And if something happens, they side in favor of the claimant. That's just how it works. You as the defendant, you are screwed until you can prove otherwise. And YouTube's Content ID system has been proven time and time again to be kind of broken. But that's all on YouTube. Like, the long and short of it is, YouTube system's kind of broken, but Nintendo's sitting here going, okay, we're gonna actually try to work it out and have every party, benefit from it, rather than us not benefiting from it, or them not benefiting from it, or someone not benefiting from it in some way, and opening the door to a lot of legal recourse. It's like, Nintendo's, trying to meet people halfway versus other people who are giving everyone, what they want in terms of Let's Playing, or companies like Sega who are just like, no, we're going to do whatever we want to do and screw you. There's three different groups behind it, and it's just not working well. So the fact that, if a company like Nintendo does this, then obviously it's going to be a lot harder for you to be screwed over. It's going to be very hard for someone to sit here and say, oh, this Mario video you're doing, it's owned by some third-party person trying to abuse Content ID. It's not as likely to happen. So I can see all sides of this very complicated story, and I would just really love for people to stop arguing that these are definites. Like, there is no definite clause for fair use that protects Let's Plays, because there's no legal precedent for that. There's no legal precedent saying Let's Plays are illegal. It is a gray area. There's nothing been established. No court case has ruled in favor one way or another. So, it's we're doing this because we're assuming it's legal, because there's not a law against it at the moment, but there could be a law against it, which would in turn make it illegal because no one's ever challenged it. So, just people arguing about it, take a step back and realize there are multiple sides to this story, and there are going to be a lot of multiple opinions. Like, if you're one of those people who think Let's Plays are crap, great, whatever, that's your opinion, that doesn't mean you have the right to dictate what should and should not be a real job for other people. YouTube is becoming a major entertainment medium. That's like saying actors at the beginning of stage and theater say, oh no, you should just go get a real job and sell bread. No. Actors became a profession. YouTube is emerging as a form of medium, so sitting here saying you shouldn't be allowed to make money on YouTube, that's just ignorant in so many ways. So if you don't like the medium, or you don't like what's presented on the medium, like, I hate reality TV. It just means I don't watch reality TV. I don't sit here and say reality TV actors need to be fired. Because, no, if someone's willing to pay to watch that, someone's willing to pay to watch that. I'm not willing to pay to watch it. But I don't feel that I should remove someone else's right to pay to see whatever form of entertainment they want. If you are a Let's Player, and you think that this is fair, again, your opinion. It's great. I happen to share it. I think this is a pretty fair example of it keeps companies off my back, it keeps my channel up and running, it still gives me some profit for doing what I enjoy doing. That's my opinion on it, and if you share that opinion, great. If not, or if you are one of the Let's Players that think this is completely unfair, again, I see your point. I like getting paid the full amount for the amount of effort I put into video content and, things that I put up on YouTube, but unless the company gives you explicit, written, verbal, and, signed in triplicate permission, that you're still at the whim of YouTube. And if that company happens to put something on their content ID system, you're going to get flagged by it, regardless. And there's really nothing else you can do. And again, I'm speaking from experience in that because for Rainfall, I had to upload the Far Cry 4 trailer. When Ubisoft gave us a copy for a press release, I uploaded it, they flagged it, and flagged the channel. We actually got a copyright strike on that one. I had to appeal it, and it went away, but I took down the video after that and said, no, I'm not dealing with this until Ubisoft issues some sort of, apology to us, because that was complete bullshit. Just no two ways about it. You give us a video to upload to YouTube, and the second it's uploaded to YouTube, you flag us. Screw you. That's just... So, and it was because it was a part of YouTube's Content ID system. Ubisoft gave us permission, but YouTube did this anyway, and Ubisoft and YouTube kind of screwed us. Because that's the relationship that they had with that particular content for Content ID. Eventually, Ubisoft fixed it, which removed our strike, but yeah. So, yeah, that's... I could go on and on about this. And again, I just say, I see everyone's opinion on it. I can understand where you're coming from with this. There are so many sides of the story, and I would love to see a definitive ruling on this. But until we get that, we are at the mercy of the company's discretion. If they want to do this, if they allow us to do this, that's the long and short of it. Unless YouTubers and Let's Players and everyone else want to band together on a class action suit so that we don't have, like, one person doesn't have to shoulder the entire blame and financial burden. There's no ruling. There's no precedent. There's no specific law on the book yet. You can claim fair use till you're blue in the face, but until a judge declares, yeah, that falls under fair use, and then you have other instances that falls under fair use, but that doesn't. There are differences. Does a highlight montage count as a full Let's Play, or what about a long play? Like, Let's Plays have overlapping commentary. Long plays don't. There's so many variations that you would have to get a set ruling for each one. And even then, there's going to be open to interpretation of, well, this Let's Play is slightly different. It's very heavily edited versus when it's not heavily edited. What's the difference? So there's no law at the moment. Stop saying that with 100% certainty that it's fair use, because it may not be. There's been nothing established that Let's Plays are fair use. Because if there were, Nintendo wouldn't be pulling the crap that they had been pulling of claiming all ad revenue and now offering to share ad revenue. All companies would say, yeah, it's fair use, so we have to let it go, and they wouldn't even address it after that. It would just be a thing. But because individual companies have individual stances on it, because there is not a ruling, they're allowed to do that. So, just please, everyone, calm down just a little bit. I would greatly appreciate it. I would also love to know your specific thoughts on it. Like, is there something that I'm missing about this that, makes it good or bad that has not already been addressed for certainty that fair use or something like that? If there's a specific law that's not fair use that applies to Let's Plays as transformative works and that you can cite information, I'd love to hear it, because that would make this whole process considerably different. But I really don't think something that specific currently exists. But if there's something that's similar that might, who knows? Or if you're a lawyer that's like, yeah, I want to deal with, taking these companies to court, let me know what to do. then, you know, I'll chip in. I'll do what I can to help, but I know I'm gonna get, you know, some flack on this video, and I'm gonna get some who agree with me. So, you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna go and probably sleep because it's been a long day. So I will see you guys hopefully with regularly scheduled content returning tomorrow. So long as the internet doesn't implode due to something like this, you know, like it has been. So I'll catch you guys later.